Hey, this is David Goldenberg from 11 Ads for Brands, and I want to address a common question that people have. Is it possible for your own ads to drive up your cost per click? And people ask this not really understanding how Amazon's ad auction works on the one hand, and also not understanding how their own actions in their own ad account, what precedes the auction, can affect things. Because this part of the equation, what happens in the ad auction, gives you one answer to the question. And this part of the equation, what happens before the auction, will give you a different answer. What am I talking about? So in the ad auction, right, there's essentially a contest between you and your competitors to get one particular ad impression for your ad to show up in any given slot on the page. So that might be, for example, the top of search slot in sponsored brands, to keep the example simple. If you want to show up there, so you've got your campaign A targeting, let's say, webcams or bath towels, something, and you've got competitor B, C, and D who are all also targeting bath towels. Now, your bid and your click-through rate in comparison to theirs affects who gets that slot. What happens if you make your own second campaign also targeting bath towels, right? So if you have a higher bid, right, on the other campaign, you won't necessarily cause this campaign to pay more per click, right? Or vice versa, right? Suppose this one has $1 bid and this one has $1.20, right? So you won't necessarily cause this one to pay $1.01 because this one has $1, right? But it is likely that Amazon will choose this one to enter the auction, all other things being equal. So the question is, once you're in the auction, can campaign A cause campaign B to pay a higher cost per click? No, it can't. Okay, because you're not competing against campaign A in the auction, you're just competing against competitors B, C, and D, right? But what happens is before that, if you have these two campaigns, or in some cases more, last night I was looking at an account and they had, some brand keywords in multiple different campaigns. If you see that it's performing well in campaign A, and then you want to test out campaign B, so you launch it maybe with a higher bid to try to get the impressions there, and that's deliberate. Later on, if you're not keeping a close eye, you forget, and you're like, oh, hey, I remember campaign A was doing well, and now I see that's not getting so many impressions. Why not? Well, my ACOS is good enough, so I'll raise the bids. I can afford to do so. Okay, so now you yourself, without Amazon doing anything, have caused yourself to raise the bids because you want to get back the impressions that shifted over to campaign B. Campaign B's impressions go down. What do you think happens next? Oh, gee, I really wanted to find out what was the result of this test. Let me raise campaign B's bids, and then they take the impressions. You might also get from your competitors, whatever, but this kind of game of whack-a-mole that's happening within your account, from one campaign to the other campaign, one keyword within the campaign to another keyword that's overlapping in the same campaign, right? This is a way that basically people just shift impressions around the account, and not really deliberately, but just by playing with the bids and not thinking, hey, if I change this here, what will the effect be on the other places in the account? I mean, more generally speaking, you generally want to be isolating keywords, meaning if you're targeting one keyword, it should only appear in campaign A unless you're explicitly making an A/B test with campaign B, right? Because otherwise it's a mess for you to manage, and it's a recipe to cause your own bids to increase from lack of attention and structure and organization. Within the auction, though, it's like a basketball game, right? Your players that are on the court, or your one player, the one campaign that's in the auction for that particular ad impression, right, is not competing with the other players on the team to score the basket, right? You just want to get that basket, and you're competing against the other team to get that, right? What I'm talking about in terms of the campaign structure is sort of like the tryouts, or in practice, right? All the players want to compete to be amongst the starting five, and they want to compete to get more minutes, or even before that, who's going to make the team, there's a tryout, all that. So that's what's going on in your own account, in your preparation. But once the auction is happening, right, then it's just you against the competition. It's not your ads against one another. So if you like this video, I'd love for you to subscribe, right? Hit that button down below. Give us a like. Other people probably interested to find this out as well. If you found it useful, it'd be great to pay it forward. And if you hit subscribe, what happens is YouTube is more likely to suggest videos from our channel in your feed and in suggested videos. So that can help you get more tips from us. So that's something, that would be great. And if you're looking for PPC management services, get in touch. We're 011 ads for brands, 011 ads for brands, 11 ads for brands. And you can also reach me, DG, for David Gabriel, DG at 011adsforbrands.com, DG at 011adsforbrands.com. Thanks. I'll see you soon.